your record might be a quarter-life crisis.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Quarter Life Crisis podcast. Don't take the piss on me. My name's Chris McElvenny.
And my name's Luke Davis.
And he's from Wales, not Belfast.
And I am from
He's so
Wales.
good at the accent. You're so good at the accent.
And I'm such a cunt, you'd believe it. I keep swearing.
This is just started.
Yeah, I know.
We had a few trial runs.
Right, so what happened was, prior to doing this, what we've had to do is fucking forget everything that we had like 20 minutes of a really good pod, right? Podcast. So he hates that I call it a pod. We had 20 minutes and Chris went, Luke, you may want to plug them mics in. So you might notice...
Where am I from?
We're
Right off.
From Newry.
We're,
you might notice that you can see us.
Oh, you
this
can
time.
see us, yeah.
Try not to swear, because I
Yeah,
feel like my
please.
mum's gonna watch this. Mum, if you're watching, turn it off now.
He talks about sex and dicks and all.
You horrible bastard.
You're hard. You keep talking about it.
Yeah, no. You can see us, and we've also upgraded and got ourselves some nice mics.
Lovely
as
mics.
well. But and I got myself a new laptop. I tell you, in this podcast, Chris produces it. I'm just the money man. I just buy things and go, right, okay, we'll do that, and then Chris is like, right.
All right, would it mean anything to you if I give you the title of executive producer? I'll be the producer. So you pay for it, I'll make it. Cool?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
There we go. Established titles.
We're back in Italy.
We're back in Italy.
Back in Italy, and we're actually, I'd say, about 100 yards from where we recorded our first. That is horrible. You're a horrible bastard.
Why? Because they open it with me mouth.
Yeah, you're stinking.
Council house kids, look, you.
What the fuck? What? Yeah, we're 100 yards. We're 100 yards from where we filmed the first, recorded the first episode. I can't believe you did that. You're a horrible gun. Don't. You alright? Please.
Keep rolling. I am now. Fucking hell.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Stop making me laugh when I'm drinking.
I'm sorry, but Harry's bastard.
So we're about 100 metres away, 100 yards away from where we filmed that first podcast of the Quarter Life Crisis podcast. Just over there, in our backdrop behind us. It's not a green screen, it's
Red,
real.
I'll talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, come on.
I need to drink.
No, you don't. It's a fucking last time.
I'm covered in beer because I spat it out.
Fucking horrible, man. So you spat on me. I'm more worried about the laptop. Oh, God.
I'm bad.
That hurt my ribs. My ribs are sore.
Do you know when it just goes down the wrong way?
Yeah.
I can't. Honest to God, that was horrendous.
Okay, come on.
So now you know that nothing we're doing on this one is anything to do with linked with the past 20 minutes we've just done. This is all
Gather
fresh.
yourself. Gather yourself.
I can't stop speaking. I've got verbal diarrhea after really choking. I feel bad now on the listeners. Yeah, so me and Chris are back in Italy.
We're back in Italy.
After 9 months being back.
9 months. Someone could have a baby this time.
Oh, many people have. That's all we've said to each other from the moment we got on that. 9 months, really? People, you could have a baby on that time. Many people have.
That's happened 6 times.
Yeah, that's happened about 6 times, and we've been here for just over 24 hours.
Yeah. It's good to be back in Italy.
It is. It's like for those of you. Sorry, I keep nearly choking again.
I know, you're all right.
For those of you who have listened, if you're just jumping into it now, then we've got some episodes on Spotify if you want to listen to it. A lot of people will be going.
There's a great back catalogue there.
Yeah, a lot of people will be like, are these two still? We also had a podcast before this called The School Groove Gents, which is.
Fuck, get your arm in with the vlogging. Jesus Christ.
It's my podcast. I'm blogging.
My podcast.
Yeah, so. I know my head's
No
gone.
idea what
Sorry,
you're
that
saying.
near-death experience then. I seen a light. It was the moon. Huge.
It's the flash of the camera. So, do you know what I realised the other day? It's 10 years since I made my stage debut. It was, it sounds so fucking...
I know.
It was in the West End.
It was the National Theatre, and I was playing one-man show. No, go on.
No, it was Hairspray. We did Hairspray in school. But 10 years, thank God it was 10 years ago, not this year, because Hairspray, you know what Hairspray's about?
I've never seen it.
Right, Hairspray, it's about this fat girl that wants to dance. She gets on this TV show. That's a bad explanation of the thing.
Is that part of it?
That's the kind of the main
Is
part.
the fact that she's a fat girl part of the storyline?
Yeah, because they're like, she's fat. She can't be on this show. So
Thought they just cast someone that was fat, and you were like, so it's about this fat girl, right?
yeah. It's not Precious. It's about this fat girl.
Horrible.
What do you mean? No, so Hairspray is about this fat girl who wants to be on TV as a dancer, and she's a really good dancer, but they can't let her on because they have these clean white kids having on. I know.
Clean white kids.
Yeah, so like clean cut, looking good white kids, and they would have once a month on the TV show in Hairspray. It's a show within a show.
Yeah.
It's the Corny Collins show, and once a month they have what's called Negro Day. Not again, don't do it again.
Will you stop fucking dropping bombs like that when I'm having to swing on my beer, you
Listen.
prick? Right.
They have Negro Day once a month, right? And they have black people dancing and singing.
I'm just thinking, sorry, we're sat on a balcony, right, in the north of Italy, and I'm just thinking if there's other people sat in their balconies and Chris is going, well, they had Negro Day, do you know? You can't, can you?
You can say that, it's in Hairspray.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Hairspray? You can't stop the beat. You can't. You actually can't.
Yeah.
Motion in the ocean, something in the sky. So yeah, so these black people, they're not allowed to dance, right?
Yeah.
So bear in mind that. So that's kind of the premise. This fat girl, she wants to change it. She's like, no, we shouldn't stick to the status quo. So let's have fat and black people on the show with all the white kids, right?
Yeah. Is there a song about sticking to the status quo?
No, that's her.
High School Musical, sorry.
Yeah.
I just heard you say it and I was like, and I was like, why is it ringing a bell?
Yeah, that's
High
what
School
it is.
Musical. We're all robbed from each other.
So Hairspray. So bear in mind. So that's what it's about. So there's half the cast are black characters.
So you could almost say half cast, black character. Sorry.
Yeah, so bear in mind, I went to a grammar school, a Catholic grammar school in Belfast.
Right.
We had, in the whole 7 years that I was there, on a day-to-day basis, I was there 9 to half 3, Monday to Friday for 7 years. I seen 4 black people.
In your year?
No.
In the school?
In 7 years, I seen 4 black people. They're not that common.
Is there a big black cast in Hairspray?
Like, half of them.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Just have that conversation. So, are you about to say what I think you're going to say?
Yeah.
No, you never.
Oh, yeah, no, they blacked out.
No.
Blackface. They did blackface. They
What,
did black,
how?
but they didn't do blackface, so it wasn't like black. It was like tan, really heavily tan, fake tan.
Right.
Saint-Tropez.
Mixed race almost.
They were caked in Saint-Tropez.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't mixed race. It was awful. It was like Scouser.
It was racist.
It was like
It
Scouse.
wasn't mixed race.
It was like proper ridiculous. It was like Geordie Shore.
Just a line around here where they've missed.
Yeah, oh mate. And the fella, so there's a character called Seaweed, and he's like the main like black guy who's like, yeah, I'm cool at
Please
dancing.
tell me you played
Well,
Seaweed.
I couldn't even speak. As I said, sketch. That's the one thing I said. I had one word, not a line, a word. Sketch. I said my name. There's a roll call in it. It's like roll call. Sketch. Shake myself every night. Shake myself. I'm like, fuck. What's my line? Sketch. Okay.
He's
we're good,
always
we're
been a
good.
bit pretentious, that
Sketch.
Chris.
No, so that was the first time I'd ever been on stage. Like before that, I wouldn't even have ever thought that drama was for me. I was very shy, kept myself to myself.
Yeah, because we've spoke before, and didn't you not speak until you were about 19?
19. I was
Well, no,
about,
you-
no, to be fair, I was about 13. I spoke. I just wasn't like loud, or I didn't really speak that much,
Yeah.
and was shy. And then
So one day we were just walking through school and picked up this. I can just see now a little 13-year-old Chris walking through school with no friends, kicking a can about. You know, all around me are familiar. And he's on. It's like something out of a fucking movie. I don't know.
that's what they're called. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the things. And you just a poster just blew out because he's having such a bad day because he's got no friends and he's
The poster blew away and it landed in my face.
Someone's already gave him a wedgie. Chris is walking past the fence and against it just pins this poster that says
Hairspray on it.
Hairspray, all black cast, and Chris is like, I think I've got what it takes.
100%. And here I got a part, didn't I? They didn't have enough boys, that was the main issue.
Fair one.
So I went to the audition, shite myself, I shook the entire time. It was like I had Parkinson's. Mate, I was like that, like horrendous.
I need a drink.
I swear to God. Fucking hell. And it was like the DTs. I was like that.
DTs.
I was like, it's what alcoholics have after
Withdrawals.
Yeah. Fancy way. They've got detention. Alcoholics, detention. Drinking too much, detention. So I heard about this audition, all shook up, Elvis Presley, shake myself, and went and did the audition. Was awful. But I don't know, what?
It's just your joke, carry on.
Yeah, I was wearing blue suede shoes. Is that what you want to hear? You fucking idiot.
Say to the audition people, don't be cruel.
The door won't open. I caught him in the trap. What else?
Got sent down a few weeks later. He was fucking doing the Jailhouse Rock.
Nah.
Oh shit. Yeah. Sorry to the listeners and the viewers.
And you crossed it.
I crossed it.
No.
Shit, yeah. I'll come back though.
You'll be back. So did this audition, was horrendous, obviously, but they didn't have enough boys, so they gave me a part. But I remember going home that day. My two brothers, I have two older brothers, and they're very outgoing. Like, would talk to a wall if it would reply back. Even if it doesn't, they don't give a fuck. They'll chat away to it. They're schizophrenic. No, they were so outgoing and really like personable, and I was never like that. I was very shy and stuff. So I was like, I hate that I'm not like that. So I was like, fuck it. So got a part in Hairspray. Decided I was like, fuck it, I'll do GCSE drama. Just literally
Hairspray. I'm gonna be an actor.
Yeah. So I decided to do drama GCSE, and when you put in your when you ask your requests for what you want to do for GCSE, like the subjects.
Yeah.
Options. The head of drama came in and was like, Chris.
I think you've made a mistake.
Yeah. You're on my list for GCSE drama. Like, I've never even heard of you. I don't know you. I've taught you for 3 years, type of thing. She was like, yeah, you're so quiet. Are you sure you want to do this? I was like, yes, please, miss, let me. And my mum was the same. She was like, you don't speak. You won't even speak to your granny.
Yeah.
And
it's quite cute, really. I don't want to say you found your calling because I'm not a wanker, but you'd found something where you were sort of like, do you know what? I'm tired of not speaking.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know what? Silent movies. I mean, were you a big fan as a kid?
I like the music.
Sat there watching Steamboat Willie.
I couldn't read. I was like, what's going on here? Because they have the... my mum was even like, you don't speak, so like, how are you doing GCSE drama? Decided to do GCSE drama just to get like confidence up.
Yeah.
Sure enough, there's a hurricane here. Got my confidence up and ended up doing A-level drama, and now I'm a fucking actor living in Italy, doing acting things.
For want of a better term, we're actors. This time in Italy, actually, let's talk about that, because a lot of people have messaged us, and we're doing it's. I don't know what the word is that I'm calling it, but what we've done when like people have messaged me like, oh my god, what are you doing back in Italy? And we've gone, listen to our podcast tomorrow, and you'll know what we're doing in Italy. So let's talk a little bit about that. So I was actually fortunate enough earlier this year to go travelling for a little bit. I went to Amsterdam with a few friends of mine, and we were there and had a really nice time. And it was nice to be away from home again, and it reminded me of being back here. And on the last day, I was sort of like, all right, I think I'm gonna do a bit. Like, we talked about it, and I was a bit like, I don't know. And then we were like, right, okay, let's do a bit of travelling. A good friend of mine, Griff, he came with me. Gent.
Man like Griff.
Yeah, no, we got a bus into what's that place called? Brussels Sprouts. No, that wasn't me going. It's called Sprouts. I couldn't think of the word. I was trying to say. I knew it was in Belgium, and the B was making me say Belgium. Went to Brussels for a bit, and it was nice there. I've never been. I just knew that they had the atomium. Do you know the balls? It looks like an atom. It's the atomium. All right. Anyway, it's cool. We walked past the place where Brexit happened, and we're like, yeah.
What do you call that? Where Brexit happened?
Oh, I don't know.
Like where the European Parliament is?
Yeah. I can't remember. But anyway, so we stayed there for a few days, and Brussels is stunning. And then we went. What we were trying to do was go. Griff had a job, and he knew he had to go back to his job when he got back home. So we were trying to go to places that weren't on the quarantine list, and we knew that Switzerland and Italy, Germany. We were going to go to.
So sorry. See, you saying weren't on the quarantine list. Does that mean
we didn't have to quarantine when we got back to the UK?
Oh, so what? Hold on. So say, all right, for talk's sake, say Switzerland's on the quarantine list.
Yeah.
Say you go from Amsterdam to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Then Switzerland to Italy. Then Italy to Wales. Would you have to quarantine?
No, that's exactly what I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I went from Amsterdam to Brussels, from Brussels, flew into Milan, then got the bus up to Switzerland, stayed there for a bit, back down into Bologna, Florence, Pisa. Pisa, guys, anyone who's watching is thinking, oh,
You said it was shite.
That's what I was going to say. Anyone who's saying,
good.
yeah, thanks for fucking ruining my, you set something up and Chris is saying, you said it was shit. I was going to say, anyone who's looking and thinking, I might go to Pisa, there's not, but there's a tower that's falling over, and that's about it.
Now, what is the crack with that? Why is it leaning?
There was stories about, I did my research, I'm a bit of a geek like that. If I'm going somewhere and I'm going to go and see something that's maybe a bit of a landmark and stuff, maybe not just landmarks, just in general, the weird things, they interest me. And I was like, I'll see what the crack is, why is it falling over? And it was the ground underneath it was softer than they originally thought. So by the time they got to the third tier of the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
It started leaning when they were still building it?
Yeah, so what had happened, by the time it got to the third, obviously you've seen it.
There was the lead girl from Hairspray sitting on the edge.
You horrible bastard.
It's a character.
Obviously you see it goes up in tiers, and it started falling at that point, and there was things they'd done over the years to try and secure it. Luckily enough now, it is secure. There's things under the ground and stuff. There was things put in place. I think it was only in the 90s though. Things put in place. It's leaning because if you just straightened it, Pisa would have fuck all going for it. It'd just be a tower in Pisa, not
the
even
Tower of Pisa.
Not even of Pisa. It'd be a tower in Pisa because there's plenty of nice buildings there. Do you know what I mean?
It is a nice tower though.
It is. It's a very nice tower.
Well, the issue is maybe because it's probably leaning because everyone, in all them photos you ever see, and them giants. What are you doing?
So I'm just swapping.
All them
over.
Giants are always pushing it over. You see them giant.
Fucking idiot.
People pushing it.
But yeah, no, it was really, really nice. The whole trip was nice. And then we were back at home then, weren't we?
Yeah.
Not really doing much. Obviously, it's with coronavirus and stuff. There's not too much happening in the world, and me and Chris would be on the phone to each other and saying, oh, we'd love to be back in Italy and on tour and this, that and the other. And I actually applied for a job in Hong Kong, didn't I?
Yeah, you fucking maniac.
I know. I just wanted to get away for a little bit. And sorry, I keep messing about
My
with this.
ex-girlfriend lives in Hong Kong, and he's like, fuck it, I'm going to go to Hong Kong. I'm like,
Nah, hang on, a bit of context for that. That wasn't how it worked. Me and Chris's ex-girlfriend are really good mates. Her name's Jess. Stop calling her ex. Her name's Jess.
No,
she's aged.
Jess,
She's
man,
lovely.
like
She's
Jess,
really nice. But anyway, so
Snake,
I hadn't said
snake.
anything to her. I hadn't said, oh look, I'm going to come over because I didn't know what I was doing. And I'd applied for it, and the school got back in touch and were like, oh, we'd like to offer you a job. I turned it down, and then I think a matter of days after I turned it down, our friend Ryan messaged and was like, oh, there's an opportunity that's come up. Would you like to do a stand-up comedy tour in Italy?
and you were like, Ryan, I'm not funny, but if you get in touch with Chris,
so he'd put us.
He could definitely sort something out.
And they're like, listen, Ryan, I'm really, I'll come and drive. I'll drive Chris around, but if you can make it a one-man show and just sort of put him on, that'd be absolutely fantastic.
100%.
Thank you. No, so I was ringing you relentlessly. Like, I'd had this news that, there was a chance we could go back to Italy, and I've always wanted to get into comedy and stuff like that, and kids comedy, it's a start, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, this would be brilliant. This was at about 11 o'clock in the morning, maybe even 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, I need to tell someone, everyone's in work and this. So I'm ringing Chris relentlessly, and he's sleeping, and I message him and I'm like, oh mate, is this a dream? Do you know, like, we've talked about just going on tour together for so long, haven't we? Just me and you doing something. Like the last tour we enjoyed, we loved, it was ace, bar the coronavirus part, but it was like, oh Jesus, it's come, it's happening.
Because I woke up and I had 7 missed calls from Luke, and I was like, and then I seen your WhatsApps and you were like, is this a dream? So I thought, and then I seen like stand up tour in Italy. I was like, he's just telling me what happened in his dream. And I like, see if someone tells you what happened in their dream.
You're not asked.
No one cares because it's a dream, so it didn't really happen, so I didn't care. I didn't care what happened in your dream. You only care. And do you know what's so mad about dreams? It's only you that cares.
It's only you. And maybe sometimes the other person who was in it. So if someone says to me, I had a dream about you last night, I'm
You're
like,
oh,
did you?
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, go on.
Yeah.
What happened? But yeah, no, I know, I was just thinking, sorry, the computer just went off and we both shit ourselves. Like, wait, am I going to do this for a 6th time, have we?
What were you talking about? That threw me.
Yeah, really scared us that. I thought I was going to have to choke again. Oh, I'm going to
blackface. You can't stop the beat.
Stop saying that.
Stop saying blackface. They did blackface, and they need to be punished. I was one of the white kids in it, so I was good.
The Catholics could do with being punished anyway. I'm just sorry, that was rough.
Not the Catholics.
We've been punished enough, so we are.
Yeah.
But yes, I said to Chris,
clergyman.
I rang him and was like, "Oh, listen, are we going to do it?" And you couldn't quite believe it yourself, could you?
I couldn't believe it.
And within in a heartbeat, me and Chris are both like, "Right, okay, come on, let's do it, let's go, and let's." And to be, we don't start work for another few weeks.
Yeah.
We needed the holiday. We needed to adjust.
We were also
to Italian
worried
life.
about the possibility
Of not being able to fly
not
back
being
out
able to
here,
come out here. So like, we need to.
Yeah, but
get
we're out
there.
here now. We've been tested. Everything's fine. You know, it's one of them. We're moving forwards.
Stay positive. Test negative.
That's what all we've been saying. The whole people will be like, "I'm like, how are you guys doing out there? Like, staying positive and testing negative." It's a bit shit, really. Isn't it?
Oh my God! Here, but what about that test in Milan Airport?
Oh, the worst. Right. So,
See if you've been tested in the UK, Ireland, Belfast. You've been tested there. And it goes up your nose and you're like, oh, it's so uncomfortable. It's like someone's putting their finger up your nose and
it's
picking
just
it.
a little bit too far.
No, this fella poked my GCSE results. My revision for my IT GCSE was still up there and that cunt was poking it with a stick. Chris
Come out to me and was like, Control-Alt-Delete. I'm like, fuck, what are you talking
RAM
about?
stands for Random Access Memory. I'm like, what the fuck?
He's like, I'm doing cards, computer. I'm like, Chris, he's so regressive.
Oh?
Yeah, and I learnt that today. I've known regressive for ages. Fuck, I'm
Getting
getting good with these words.
You're bragging. I've known regressive for ages. What are you talking about?
For a
Hello, Chester.
dyslexic like myself, that's a big achievement, Chris.
Yeah, you can spell it.
You can what?
Spell
it.
Fair enough.
Spelling little letters. Thank you, guys.
See, because I can't even tell whether you're right or wrong.
Because I say
can't
it so
spell
quick.
little.
Give me another letter to spell. I'll do it straight down the barrel of the lens.
Another letter.
Another
Spell.
word.
See, you can't speak. Never mind spell.
A word that I
Never-
know how to. Give me not a too hard one.
Banana.
Banana.
Apple.
Apple.
I'm thinking of fruits.
Why?
Luke.
Okay.
Thinking of-
Pick up another one. I'm going to say it nice and close to the mic so they can hear
No,
us.
I think they can hear you. You've been talking for 15 minutes.
Give me another one.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
You prick.
I can't think of a long word.
Just a word.
Adjective.
I don't know how to spell it.
A-D.
No, just give me a word and how to spell.
Verb.
Better or better.
Window.
What in the hour. So I can spell what?
Phone.
Put it on there. So I can spell phonetically. I think it is.
But I don't know if you're actually spelling it.
Put it on there.
No, but that's not spelling it. They're not letters. They're sounds. You're sounding it out like my 5-year-old niece does.
Right. Okay. So I'm doing it phonetically.
But you're not spelling
I'm
it.
not going. Oh. Yeah, I know. No, but it is spellings. People back us up. Drop Chris a message and say you're a prick. It is spelling. One thing that I found out that was quite interesting is it's the way that you learn in the Welsh alphabet, which I don't think I've learned the Welsh alphabet.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm sure they do it like I'm sure that's
That's ridiculous.
I know, but maybe it's just something I've held on from being a kid. I don't know.
Here's another I like. There was a wee song. My uncle has learning difficulties and he has a record
Same.
player and he loved. No, you don't have an uncle with learning difficulties. He's not your uncle.
I've got learning difficulties.
but I think you and him are worlds
You
apart.
don't have an uncle, thanks, Chris. Thanks for reminding me. It's all I've ever wanted.
I'll be your uncle, mate.
Aw, dude. Bro.
No, sorry, I'll be your uncle's mate. No, yeah, I don't want to be.
Shut up. Carry on.
Dude, shut up. And he had this record. He plays records like the old
He's a
LPs.
DJ. His uncle.
He's Calvin Harris. All right, he's Calvin Harris, and he's dyslexic. He's Calvin Harris, and he's Scottish, but he has an Irish passport. No, he plays a record player, and he had this wee song. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, F, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, I can't.
Completely wrong.
You haven't-
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, K, L, M, N, O,
H, I, K,
H,
L,
I, J,
M,
K, L, M, N, O, P.
Q, P, R, S, T, I don't know.
Q, P, R, O, S, T, D. Shut up.
I'm reading the results of last week's pictures. No, it was a wee song, it was good. And then there was another song. It was so weird because it was like an actual song released by a band. It was this Irish band called Barnbrack. We loved them. And it was like, Mama, will you buy me? Will you buy me? Will you buy me? Mama, will you buy me? Will you buy me a banana?
Hasn't it? Why haven't I heard that song?
Yes, my son, I'll buy you a. I'll buy you a. I'll buy you a. Yes, my son, I'll buy you a. I'll buy you a banana. And then it's like, Mama, will you take a bite? Will you take a bite? Will you take a bite? Mama, will you take a bite? Bite of my banana.
Yeah.
And then it goes, Mama, you took too much. You took too much. You took too much. Mama, you took too much. Too much of my banana.
Okay, so I'm just going to say here, please, in this bit of the clip now, play a little bit of the song. So
I don't know where I'd find that song.
Oh, we'll find it somewhere and we'll put a little bit of it in this next section.
Right now.
Mama, would you buy me out? Would you buy me out? Would you buy me out? Mama, would you buy me out? Would you buy me a banana? Yes, my child, I'll buy you a, I'll buy you a, I'll buy you a. Yes, my child, I'll buy you a, I'll buy you a banana.
And we're back.
We don't even need
Yeah, I know.
Well, we paused.
I know, we're sat there like we're listening to it as well. I want to listen to it.
Well, is my cover not good enough for you? Sometimes covers are better.
With you, it sounds like they've sped it up.
No, that's so they do. They go, Mama, will you buy me up? Will you buy-" And they're fast.
Is it like, whoa, they're at the bag in the bag down in the barrier?
Semi.
Okay.
But about a banana.
Brilliant.
But fuck, we used to love that song as kids. We're like, here. I don't even like bananas, but I'd be like, Mama, will you buy me? And she's like, piss off.
No, I was like, I'm going to the shop, what do you want?
It's
like,
not about
Mama,
Tesco.
will you buy me a banana?
She was like, Jesus, I think I pray every night that you would eat a banana. Any fruit or veg. I don't.
No, you don't touch it.
I will never touch it.
Chris had a girlfriend once, and she was a vegan, and she was a vegan.
Yeah, she was.
And she tried to cut your food, didn't she? You cooked it with her, to be fair.
No, it sounded like she tried to cut your food. She's like, yes, you'll choke on that.
She needed to in the end.
Fuck, she needed to eat my food.
She tried to cut Chris a meal, and I remember seeing Chris.
I cooked it.
I was sat on our sofa in the house that we used to live in Manchester, and I'm sat watching the telly, and we had like sort of a living room, dining room sort of situation. And Chris and his girlfriend are sat there having a romantic meal, but because I'm stubborn, I was like, I'm sitting down and watching what I want on telly. We're watching Something to Do with Peter Kay or Ricky Gervais, and I'm sat there watching it, and I'm just like sitting on me, and I just heard this, and I looked, and what he was doing was he couldn't swallow an aubergine.
No, I couldn't even chew it.
No, he couldn't chew it. Like he put it in his mouth.
Not the whole aubergine. I wasn't trying to suck off a fucking veg.
Well,
it was.
You've had plenty of practice, so you have.
No, I don't like veg. Don't you? No, but the thing is, right, so I was trying to be all romantic, and I was like, listen here, I'll cook you a meal. I'll cook you a pasta, a vegan pasta, I'll cook you a meal. So then I went to Sainsbury's, and I'm like, fuck, where's the fruit and veg bit?
What's vegan?
I don't know, right, so I got spaghetti, and I got all these fucking fruit and veg. I got veg and sweet potato, I did like sweet potato, and like tomato sauce and all. It would have been lovely if
Remember
you liked that type of
curry
shit.
I used to have with sweet potato, and I loved it. We used to put it in breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs.
It does. In the morning when the baker comes.
We used to put it in breadcrumbs, and you'd be like, I'm not trying that, it's fucking stinking.
It
And I'd be like, mate,
stinking,
sweet potato. I love a sweet potato. Have you ever tried a jacket sweet potato? If you've never tried that, try it, ladies and gentlemen, because it's nice. Really?
Ladies and gentlemen, like we're at the O2. Ladies and gentlemen.
Mom, if you've never tried, Mum and Laura, if you've never tried a sweet jacket potato, just try it. Stick it in the microwave for like 15 minutes.
Beans.
Don't Google it, because you might burn it or blow your microwave up.
I know, no tinfoil in the microwave. Made that mistake. Nah, so I cooked out of this fucking, and I couldn't chew it. I think it's like a psychological thing, and that kind of earned me points with her. Because she was like,
Chris blamed it on mental. He was like, I've got mental health problems and I can't chew vegetables. I'm sorry.
And she was like rubbing my back, and I was like, listen, Chris.
I was sat there in tears. I'm sat trying to watch the telly, but almost like telly's where you are now. And I'm sort of like looking, and oh, mate, he's choking now. He's having a bad time. I was in stitches, wasn't I?
I know, you bastard.
Yeah,
I was having a terrible time. After 5 minutes, she was like,
because he was really trying to impress this girl, and usually Chris's effort to impress a woman is poor at best.
That's not true. My effort is 100. My
attitude.
Not my attitude. My what do you call that? No, all right. Jesus Christ. Jesus.
You're what?
We're still a black one in there.
You're what?
That's Bewitched. Blind Date. She want me to say my big fat belly.
That's Bewitched. That was that was Irish default, that wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
No, not Bewitched. No, not C'est La Vie. Bewitched.
I was gonna say.
It's like Bewitched. No, the nose with the witch. The witch and the nose.
No. What were you saying about your big fat belly?
I have a big fat belly.
So Chris
drink a beer.
Chris has got a bit of a complex at the moment. So I've always been fat. A bit fat, haven't I? I've always been like...
You're not fat.
But I've always had weight. Like, I'm not asked about it. I think if I'd look like a smackhead if I was 5 stone lighter. Do you know what I mean? I would. I'd look horrible. That's what I tell myself anyway. And
Yeah. 2 cheeseburgers. I'll look like a smacker.
I look like a smackhead if I was any smaller.
More chips. More chips. More chips.
All right, no, Ben, slow down. Someone's got some fucking... That was from the back of the mind, that, wasn't it? You know, Ben. Chris has got a complex at the moment because he's put a little bit of weight. He's got a tiny bit of a beer belly. Not that it's an issue. I don't mind. I'll accept your
I mind.
And that's all that matters. If you mind and you want to change it, then you look at me.
I don't know what to do to
I'm
change
such a
it.
modern man.
I'm just a big fat fuck, and I don't know what to do about it.
A big fat fuck.
I've never. I know I'm not a
Look
big.
at us. He's a big fat fuck. Apparently.
But you're wearing black. You can't tell.
Oh yeah, black slimming, but still I look chunky. Chunky, but fucking chunky.
I look pregnant. Stuff in my pocket. There's a plastic bag in my pocket.
But yeah, so you've had a bit like constantly.
It
now,
has
like,
been a
I videoed
complex.
him before to put a video on Instagram. He was going to go in the toilet or something. Don't put that on. I look fat. Shut up.
I know, but how bad is
You
that
look
though?
lovely.
I'll
do.
be bulimic by the end of this holiday. Folks,
Yeah, I had a couple of. I'm not even going there. I had a joke and I've left it.
No,
I've done the
I'm
better
glad.
thing. I've
I'm
done the better
glad.
thing.
like a fucking Victoria's Secret model I am. I'm sick of the
Oh,
toilet.
you should have left it as well.
Oh,
You should
shut
have
up.
left it there.
Fuck, I didn't mention her name, Selena Gomez. I was joking. I didn't even know. I didn't even say it. I didn't even know is she a model? She's a singer. She was on Wizard of Waverly Place.
Yeah, that's a segue.
Here, have you watched... I don't even know what I was going to say. Here, we'll take a wee break. And then...
I think it's come to it.
another
I think what this is called is a natural pause where I'm going to go and give him a fucking grilling now. And
A grilling, all right, Dabs.
chance to be a fan thing. Yeah, we'll have a little break.
You'll be grilling burgers, you fat fuck.
We'll have a
Sorry, lad.
fucking horrible. Right, we'll have a word from our fucking sponsors. You
Boris Johnson.
Do you ever mention that name in front of me, that filthy piece of toe rag?
I'm getting the word nonce.
Mama, will you buy me? Will you buy me? Will you buy me? Mama, will you buy me? Will you buy me a banana?
It is a chain to be fair.
So in the break, that's all I've been singing to Chris. Is that song? I really
I
like
regret
it.
bringing it up to you, to be honest. It's,
Another song like that, which is an Irish song, is the Rattling Bog, which I love.
oh yeah,
And the
remember
story
we
of
fuck.
that. So Chris showed me a song. Well, you never even showed me. Seen it on Facebook. You might have all seen it. There's an Irish song, and it's a bit. Is it a folk song?
Yeah.
So it's an Irish folk song that people sing at weddings.
No.
gatherings?
No, it's just an Irish.
They just sing,
song.
and it's the
Like a pub song.
Yeah, and they sing the whoa, row the rattling bog in the bog, row the rattling bog in the bog down in the valley, oh, row the rattling bog in the bog down in... That's a really bad rendition of it. But anyway, it's this really fast-paced song that I'd seen on Facebook. There was a couple that had sang it at their wedding, and everyone was getting involved, and I thought, oh, that's really ace. And I went out to Belfast for your birthday, it was, wasn't it? And when was that? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago, we went out. Was it
Last year?
Last year, yeah. We went out for to Belfast for Chris's birthday, and we were in a pub called
Fibber McGee's.
Fibber
High
McGee's. Yeah. And we were in there, and there was Wales were playing England. Excuse me. In the pub, everyone was watching the game, and they were all rooting for Wales to win. And obviously, I'm Welsh. And there was just good. Long story short, there was good spirits around, wasn't there? You know, Wales had won. Everyone was in high spirits, sort of thing. And I was banging on the table like this.
That's horrible.
And yeah, I know. And Chris goes, "Will you shut up?" And as I was looking at him banging, all of our housemates are still around us and his parents and stuff. And I looked at Chris and I sang, "Whoa, row, we're at the bog and the bog down in the barrio." And Chris went, "Don't." And I went, "Whoa, row, we're at the bog and the bog down in the barrio."
Valley-o.
Valley-o.
Like a valley?
Valley. The bog down in the valley-o.
Yeah.
I was just singing it quick. Well, you know, I'm just time is money and talk to people money buys houses. And so I was banging.
Up there for thinking, down there dancing.
Then Chris looked at me, and as we locked eyes, he was like, "No, in that hole there was a, no, in that bog there was a hole a rattling hole in the bog and a bog down in the valley. Whoa, rattling bog and a bog down in the valley.
Valley?
I said that.
You're saying valley?
I'm saying it's because I'm trying to do an Irish accent in the valley.
Valley?
Valley.
I have an Irish accent. I can say valley easy.
Tries to do it. But anyway, we started singing this, and people around us in our small little corner of this room, obviously Corona.
Sober up.
I know, so we've been drinking since like 2 o'clock this afternoon. We're on our holidays. But yeah, so people around us started singing. And then slowly throughout the pub, everyone sort of jumped on it, didn't they? Everyone joined in. There was a family next to us, and it was like a fella and his wife and her parents and maybe his parents and blah, blah, blah.
We felt famous because there was people getting their phones out.
Yes, and there was people. So it was one of the moments where, as we were sat on this table, say like we're sat now, as we turned around like this, there was just so many other people that were filming us, and you just seen flashes from cameras and stuff like that. And obviously, being the actors and performers that we are, we lapped that up. And we were like, all right, okay, so we carried on doing it, and we went right to the very end. But the point of the song is that it goes really fast, doesn't it? So say, the last line was, now in that hole there was a
leaf. So it'd be like, rare leaf, a rattling leaf, leaf in the tree, and
tree and the branch, and the branch and the twig and the
yeah, so there we go.
Leaf and the twig and the twig and the branch and the branch, the tree and the hole in the bog and the bog down in the valley, oh, row, row, rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, oh, row, rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. And we loved it, didn't we? We were lapping it up because I've been doing this in our house for months before we got to Belfast. And
Do you know what's mad? I love that song mainly because Barney, Barney the dinosaur.
Yeah, with no imagination.
Yeah.
Stick a carrot up his bum and he's got constipation. Sorry. Don't even know if it's a carrot, but I thought, what's nice and wide at the end?
A dinosaur.
With no imagination, shove a carrot up his bum and he's got constipation. Childhood ruined.
I know.
Go on.
For Barney. I loved Barney as a kid. Loved Barney so much. And Barney,
I love you.
No. It was similar to Rattling Bog. So it was like you ever did see, and the tree and the hole in the ground and the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around, and on that tree, and on the tree, there
was a crazy moose. Is it like that?
Yes.
And he drank a lot of juice.
It was to help just in there. It was help the kids.
And spit it on his head. Sorry, go on.
Spit it on his head?
Yeah.
Did he?
That's what we did when we were kids.
Use a rug.
Yeah.
I love Barney. Do you know? Did you ever watch Barney as a kid?
Yeah, relentlessly.
Have you ever seen?
Yeah, the purple video when I was a kid. I remember that.
Yeah. The movie.
Yeah. And it was on a purple video, and I was like,
and you couldn't tape over it.
Yeah.
You couldn't tape over it.
How'd they do that?
I don't know. Like, do you know, like videos, like VHS tapes? You weren't able to, like, if it was like, we had Titanic, we had loads of things. My dad used to buy them in the car boot sale.
They had Titanic, and now it's Chris's 8th birthday.
Stop bad.
Yeah, I know, sorry.
Yeah, so you're not able to
My
tape.
mic's you prick.
No, I'm loud. You're not able to tape over an official tape.
Oh, really?
You can't, yeah. But you would think that you could, but you just can't.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you have to have like actual tapes that are re-recordable or whatever. But we had Barney live in New York. You ever seen that?
No.
Barney live in New York.
So.
Mate, that talk about ruining your childhood. Horrendous.
What?
There was this guy called the Winkler or something, right? He had this big nose, and he was really scary looking, like frightening.
Yeah.
Yes, I am the Winkler, and it's no surprise. And he'd bounce about, and he's really flexible and all, and he'd be all weird. Made horrific, like scared the fuck out of me.
Don't like it.
Do you know, it's actually weird. I watched it like recently during lockdown. You get bored. Went on YouTube, Barney Live in New York, watched it. Still shite myself. It's like watching The Conjuring. But the thing is, right, so what he used to do was he was like mischievous.
Yeah.
He just wanted some friends to play with, so he wanted to play tricks on them, Barney and his mates, these kids.
Yeah.
Barney was a paedophile, no harm to fucking the Winkler. Winkler just wanted mates. Barney's hanging around with kids.
Barney's a nonce. You heard it here first, kids. Barney's a nonce. Cancel culture, cancel Barney. Don't let your kids watch Barney anymore.
Well, Barney's not a thing no more. They don't make
What?
Selena Gomez, who I talked about before, she was on fucking Barney.
Was she?
Oh, why?
Doing what?
Talking about. She wasn't.
She had his aubergine in her mouth.
Yeah, she didn't like veg either.
Oh no! See, now you've made
That's
it.
why she got fat. And she had burger. I'm sorry, she's not fat. I'm only joking. It was just I had to go full circle. No, so Barney, right? No, Barney's not a thing anymore. But he played tricks on people. So what he would do, he stole the Barney bag. You know the Barney bag? It was like Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
And he could just fucking pull all this stuff out.
Stuff.
I know. Stuff. So he stole a Bonnie bag, and they were trying to make arts and crafts and make stuff, but they couldn't because he stole the Bonnie bag. So he stole the Bonnie bag. He's on stage, steals the Bonnie bag, goes backstage, and within a second you hear his wee woohoo, Scurry, come.
Is he Irish?
I don't know, maybe. You bloody bastard. Yeah, I'll have a pint of Guinness.
This little leprechaun comes out with a hat on and a ginger beer. It's me.
You're the Winkler. That's why you're so against Barney.
Yeah.
No, so
I'm the Winkler.
So that's so weird. So
My
he
name's
would
Nick
go,
Davis and I'm the Winkler.
He would go, oh my God, you heard it here first. So he would go off stage with the Bonnie bag, and then and then the camera would go to like a box that's like at the back of Radio City Music Hall in New York, where it is massive.
That's
theater.
what James Brown did. The first time.
Right. So the camera goes from the stage and pans up way back at the theatre, and he's standing there with the Bonnie bag. Maybe not the same fella, but
it's definitely not the same fella.
Looks the exact same, scurry nose, freaky
Costume.
face. Well, obviously same costume.
Yeah.
Barney bag.
Same Barney bag.
Well, yeah.
Imagine a world with two Barney bags. How mad would that be?
I know. Well, you never know.
You never know, mate.
I'd love a Barney bag, you know.
See, I've sort of missed out on kids' cartoons over the past few years. Over the past, I don't know, 20 years. No, how old am I? 23. So maybe the past 15 years. Like proper kids' telly is what I mean. I was
different now,
I was
though.
hearing the other day that Joe Swash has just got a part as Thomas the Tank Engine's mate. I was like, the enthusiasm. He's like, Joe Swash, I can't wait to watch it. New episode's coming out. Joe Swash is going to be in it. Honestly, it's going to be brilliant. I'm telling you.
I'm being off work, so I was
Watching Loose Women.
Oh, Loose Women, yeah.
Because he's with Stacey Sullivan, isn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, we're the loose men. Sounds horrible with men, doesn't it? I'm loose. But I'm Irish. But yes, well,
That's why I needed a break. Pulled out of him.
Oh, Christ. Loose stools. I made him cringe.
I'm joking now.
Yeah. We couldn't forget about that. What was I going to say then? Oh yeah, Joe Swash has just got a part as Barney's mate. Not
Yeah.
Barney.
No. He's the Winkler. Joe Swash is the Winkler. And he stole a Barney bag and he showed it for all to see on Loose Women.
Yeah.
Bastard. Took Stacey Sullivan out of it. Here she is, I got her. Back in the Barney bag.
Joe Swash was on Loose Women talking about being part of Thomas the Tank Engine, and again, like men not being able to see their kids. That's the things that he was talking about. I was like, oh my God, Thomas the Tank Engine. But so in February this year, my niece was born, Lily, and she's beautiful, she's gorgeous. But at the moment, she's 8 months old now, and she loves the Teletubbies.
See, that's unreal because Teletubbies, do they still make Teletubbies?
Still make it. It's new now. So now we're that old. You guys watching? We are that old. The Teletubbies have got kids
Wise up there.
that live.
Who are they? Bucking?
What?
To make kids?
Each other. Lala was hanging out the back of Poe in the last one I watched. Yeah.
Kids like half yellow, half red.
Comes out like a
TV
Dalmatian.
will pour on his fucking tummy. He's like, Jesus Christ.
TV that just plays. I forgot what I was going to say. I was trying to be like, you know, like the stereotypical like troubled kids. Nirvana is what I was trying to get to. Like, I don't know where I was going with the joke. Let's just leave it there. Anyway, Teletubbies have got kids.
So, sorry. Are you here to do a stand-up tour?
Luckily enough, I've not been writing the fucking jokes. But yeah, anyway, Teletubbies, now you can you go into their stomach, which you could do when we were kids, couldn't you?
I think so.
And there was things happening, like now there's kids playing. But if I remember, there's little Teletubbies now that are going round doing their thing.
We should maybe watch it. Like, I wouldn't...
I'd watch it. It's on YouTube and stuff, because when we're with Lily, I'm always like, watch this, because what I love is that she hears the theme tune, Teletubbies. La la po. Yeah, it's a Tinky Winky Dipsy la la po. And
There's only 4 of them, that's right.
yeah. But did you know? I didn't know this.
Tinky Winky was a bird. Cancelled. Tinky Winky.
Did you know?
Pervert.
Did you know Lala is played by Joe Swash?
And
no, it's
Tinky
not.
Winky's the Tinky Winkler.
There we go, bringing it round comedy. But yeah, I tried to buy Lily. I tried to buy my niece I was looking for things to get her for Christmas. It's her first Christmas, and I just want to get her things. You know? And I've been like, I'll get her that for a birthday. Her birthday's in fit. I'll get her that for Christmas. And I was looking for...
I'll get her a Tinky Winky and a Dipsy. No.
Joe Swash is like, why am I here? I was looking at getting her a full-size Teletubbies. You know how tall they are?
What?
Teletubbies.
They're like 7 foot.
Oh, mate, they're about 7.5, 8 foot tall.
I seen that.
I don't even think most houses aren't that tall, are they?
But hold on.
Houses, bedrooms.
Are they this tall because they have them things sticking out of their
So
head?
what I think I was talking to Chloe, who's my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Nearly. And Lily's mum, side of it, yeah. And I was talking, and I think she said that they see out their neck. Maybe it was Brad who said it, but they see out their neck. So, like, obviously, they've got, like, mesh so they can see, and the head is just costume. Does that make sense?
Oh, because they're so tall.
Because they're so tall, so you would see out of here, and the extra 2 foot is just the size of them.
Maybe they're played by midgets and they can see out the TV.
Or they can see out the crotch. Oh, that was great. Little telescope.
I can see out my Tinky Winky.
Well done.
Thanks.
There we go. Yeah, but no, Teletubbies, and I loved it. But you know what has stopped? I think I haven't seen it for a while. Tweenies.
Tweenies, yeah, no, Tweenies stop.
Are you ready to play?
Jake, do you know Jake?
Jake, fucking Jake with his big dick.
He was disabled.
Jake was.
Jake was disabled. Did you know that?
No.
So I researched it weird.
Prove it.
Jake was played by the guy who plays Mr. Tumble.
But he's not disabled.
No, I know. I'm saying Jake, the character, is disabled.
Why?
In
What was,
the
it, what was
20s.
his disability?
Have a lisp.
Then he spoke. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
He did speak like that. He did speak like that.
He
didn't
thought,
he?
I guess.
Hey guys, you know.
No, he didn't. He's not fucking the guy from the Goonies.
Hey you guys.
Yeah, no, that's not Jake.
I know.
Milo was cool as fuck. Remember him with
Yeah. I don't know why, right? But I'd always assume. I know Milo was purple, but Milo was a black guy for me.
Yeah,
And I don't know why. Do you know what I
was
mean?
just about to say that.
Yeah,
Get out of my head, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, weird because I was thinking that he is purple, but like I don't know whether he's played by a black guy, like voice wise.
Yeah, I just.
And he has hair, that hair, like curly hair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Weird.
Cool guy though.
Cool guy.
Milo was cool.
Very cool guy.
You ever watch the Rugrats?
Oh, I loved, mate. I was raised on the Rugrats.
Yeah.
I was Tommy.
I had a puppet, Tommy. I was
Puppet and Tommy.
I was taking out his liver.
Oh Christ.
Yeah, no, I had Tommy.
Yeah.
And his mouth obviously went.
His mouth moved. Yeah.
Yeah, puppet.
And he spoke when I spoke as well.
He had a Belfast accent. Who'd have thought it?
Belfast Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what were the twins called?
Phil and Lil.
Phil. Who were they played by?
No, what am
isn't
I?
it- isn't it-
IMDb? I don't fucking know.
Isn't it like a famous actor who played Phil and Lil?
First I've heard of it.
All right. Okay. Were they played with the same person?
Yeah, I would assume so. They have the same voice.
Yeah.
Remember
yeah,
Angelica, the wee cunt?
Oh, she was a bitch.
She was a wee
But I
bastard.
felt for her. You know, was it sort like she was the oldest, so all the little ones were getting.
She had no one to play with. Who was like at her like.
What was that doll? Cynthia.
Cynthia.
Remember? Oh, this is one for you.
Rugrats in Paris.
What? No, Rugrats meet the Wild
Wild
Thornberrys.
Thornberys?
Oh,
What a film.
what an absolute! When they're stuck on the dinghy, and then what was that fella called? He was like, honestly, in the Wild Thornberrys, what was his name?
dad?
No, the little kid.
Oh, the wild
And he
fella?
just run round and be like, "Ah!" And they'd be like, "Come back here."
I don't know.
Oh, what was his
know.
name now?
But here, know what's weird about that movie, Rugrats meets the Wild Thornberrys? I remember it. This is how old I am. And
Sorry, just let me remember. Is that where Eliza does that? One
Eliza?
way. Not.
No, that's Rugrats in Paris.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
One way.
It's not Eliza. What's her name?
Angelica.
Angelica.
Eliza's from the Wild Thornberrys, yeah.
She does it one way or another. Yeah, that's right. But it's in Rugrats in Paris. It is.
But it's on like a waterfall, isn't it? That this happens.
No,
Which
they
is
have
good.
the dinosaur.
Oh, mate, I think you've got them mixed up. I remember that, right? I remember this vividly.
I remember going to see Rugrats in Paris in cinema.
See, I think you're wrong.
Well, we'll
gonna have
Google
to-
it. We'll need a fact check.
Yeah, and you guys do it as well.
Yeah, Google it. We'll wait.
Yeah.
Have you Googled it? I was right.
Ah, no, you weren't.
I know. I know. They
weren't.
just told me.
But yeah, no. So anyway, she did Lethal, brilliant. And they had what was it called? The something that the Wild Thornberrys drove in?
Mate, I didn't really watch
The
the Wild
combi.
Thornberrys.
The combi.
Oh, because they were Australian, weren't they? The Wild Thornberrys?
No.
Where were they from?
They had like American accents. Eliza had an American accent.
Who the fuck is Eliza?
The girl from the Wild Thornberrys with the fucking red hair talks to kids.
It's Angelica.
That's from the Rugrats,
She
mate.
sings. No,
One
I'm
way
right.
or another. Yeah.
In
Well,
Rugrats in Paris. I know I'm right.
It's not in Rugrats in Paris. Anyway, Eliza's from the Wild Thornberrys and she's got red hair. Yeah,
Right.
you remember? Has she got red hair? Yeah, straight back and glasses.
never
and
really
stuff.
watched it.
Do you remember Hey Ginger? Did you ever have that as a kid?
No. Hey
And
Arnold, I remember.
Well,
Hey
no,
Arnold.
Hey Ginger.
Ginger?
Yeah, and what was the song? Something about the grass is always greener on the other side. And it faded out. You went into the. It was like a cartoon.
I don't remember.
Brilliant. Probably wasn't. Probably hadn't got to you lot.
Do you know what was
Might get
weird?
it next
See,
year.
during lockdown, when Disney Plus got released the UK, I was able to get it, and going back and watching like Sweet Life. You didn't have Disney Channel as a kid, didn't you not?
Yes.
You did? Oh, sorry.
I know I come from a council estate, mate, but it's not. Do you know what I mean?
Satellite, a dish.
We all just shared one, and there was wires going to each other's houses. We also didn't have no electric, and it was just wired up, and the electric man had come round and we'd lie about what was on the meter.
A satellite dish. We
We
served
just had a big mast that we made in the middle of the
chicken
street.
curry in the satellite dish. Here you go, like
Yeah.
a big wok.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, we had a dodgy box. I know.
That's
Dodgy.
middle class scandal if ever you've heard it. We had a
We
dodgy
weren't
box.
middle
Oh,
class.
fuck off.
We're on the edge. We're on the edge.
Yeah.
And we had a dodgy box. Well, you don't have dodgy box if you're middle class. You're going to pay the full whack. You're going to pay the full whack. So we had this black box.
So the rich stay rich, mate.
And I remember you, there was fucking Bravo, a channel called Bravo.
Yeah, I remember Bravo, yeah.
And My Wife and Kids always was on it. Do you know what My Wife and Kids?
Sorry, I thought you had
My
a separate
wife.
life then. I was like, you've got a what? A wife and kids?
Yeah, shush. If you're listening, love, make sure they're in bed.
Say hello to the kids from us.
Italy's lovely. I'm bringing home the bacon. Won't be long. I know I'm like an immigrant sending money back to my family. That's a normal thing. That's what they do. I worked with a fella from Bangladesh in London, and that's what he used to do. Send money back to his family in Bangladesh. Felt bad for him, like. Couldn't spend anything. Don't judge me, fuckface.
Okay. Laptop's gone off.
No, My Wife and Kids, right? It's a comedy. It's people know it. Like, it's one of the Wayans brothers, and it's about this family, like typical family in a sitcom.
Yeah.
So
The
we
Who
used to-
brothers, the Waynes brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, like the fellas from White Chicks.
Okay, yeah.
So, like their brother or whatever was in
Yeah.
it, and it was written by them. So we would always have that channel on. Bear in mind, I was like a kid. I was like 8 or 9 or 10, and we would watch it. But late at night, say 9, 10 o'clock, we'd be like, "Here, can we watch My Wife and Kids?" So you flick the channel onto Bravo,
Oh.
Sexcetera.
Oh.
Remember Sexcetera?
I do remember Sexcetera, yeah.
That was the maddest thing ever. Sexcetera was like, be people shagging behind this woman.
They
She's
weren't
like,
shagging, it wasn't that bad.
no, but they would like, they'd be naked.
Yeah, but they weren't. It wasn't.
No,
it
you
wasn't
couldn't
full
see
frontal
it.
porn.
But I mean, she'd be in front of 2 people who are maybe doing something. And she'd be
Really?
like, Amsterdam is a lovely place. She's like, the restaurants are lovely, blah, blah, blah.
Where's she from?
Denmark.
Amsterdam's a lovely place. And
Yeah. That's German.
yeah, oh, did you hear that there was a fire in a yodeling school?
What?
A fire in a fucking yodeling. Everyone had to exit in an yodelay fashion. Sorry, carry on.
No, I think we'll leave it there.
Is that the end of the pod?
Yeah.
Is that a pod?
That-
Okay.
That was nice.
Yeah. Thanks for listening and watching, guys. The first time watching
Listen,
one.
watching. If you're not watching, it's on YouTube. You'll find it.
Yeah. Enjoy.
It's been a pleasure.
See you on the
See you
flip.
later.